Today at Manchester Theatres, I am incredibly lucky because I am joined by Richard Hurst, Killian Thomas Lefevre and Tom Dickerson, who are three of the stars of the hottest ticket in town right now, Dear Evan Hansen. It's on at the Palace Theatre right now until the 22nd of February. Now, Richard has performed in A Chorus of Disapproval. He's been in The Lion King. He has toured with The Bodyguard and Sunny Afternoons, worked with the RSC, the National, basically, you name it, he's probably done it. Then we have Killian, who has been in Secret Cinema's Stranger Things. He has been in the UK and the international tour of Bat Out of Hell and Stickman, and again, just loads of brilliant things like the life and the imagined life of the Elephant Man as well. Then we have Tom, who has been in other whopping shows such as The Book of Mormon, Heathers. He's done Hansel and Gretel, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, Joseph. Basically, you get the picture. Yeah, I am with one heck of a line up here today, so that's why I'm a bit giddy. So thank you for joining me, and welcome back to Manchester, because you were here not that long ago for the National Lottery's big night of the musicals. What was that like?
Yeah, that wasn't that long ago. It feels like long ago, but it wasn't.
A couple of weeks ago. Yeah. And it's not even on TV yet. So
No.
I mean, we had come from where we were in
Southampton.
Yes. So we had the show Saturday, 2 shows on the Saturday, and then the Sunday travelling to Manchester
And a rehearsal.
Monday, dress rehearsal, show, and then back. Tuesday, then Milton Keynes.
Tuesday morning, straight in.
Yeah.
Blimey. Yeah, well, no rest for the wicked, as they say.
Exactly that.
And at that show, you performed one of the Dear Evan Hansen's probably most well-known songs, You Will Be Found. Now, I was in the audience last night, and you feel that, like, the atmosphere in the audience changed. I mean, I was like, I'm not crying, you're crying, but I was looking around and loads of people were really trying to hold it together. Do you feel that energy on stage when are you aware that the audience are having that reaction?
Well,
I'm actually not in that number.
Killian's actually in this dressing room.
I'm in my dressing room having a cup of tea, but
I'll
give you a good answer.
I think it's tough because we can't. You can't really see the audience that much. But I remember when we opened in Nottingham, you could see the audience a bit better, and you would sometimes see people just like streaming at that point. And it's funny because we don't see any of the screens either, because we're facing out and singing out that way. We sort of see them a little bit, but all this stuff, because I remember when other people who've seen it, like my mum, she said the screens and everything happening on them is so like overwhelming as well that it just forces you to like feel so much.
But actually, when a big night of musicals, I don't know about you, I could really make out their faces. They felt really close. And I thought, and the reaction we got when we got on stage, it was quite something.
Yeah. They had their phone torches out.
I was one of them. I was there. So, of course, Dear Evan Hansen, it's a whopper of a show, but of course there's always people discovering new musicals for the first time. So for those that don't know it yet and still have that joy to come, can you tell us what it's about in a bit of a nutshell?
It's so difficult, isn't it, to try and sum this show up without giving anything away to those who don't know it. But I guess it follows Evan Hansen, who is a friendless, kind of socially awkward character,
Very much so.
who tells a very innocent lie, and this ripple effect that happens, that affects the characters within the show. And we go on that journey and follow the repercussions of that lie throughout the story, and what effect it has on Evan as well, as much as everyone around him.
And how the short term result of those choices, it works out and it's great, but it slowly creates a bigger come down for somebody who's building up all this sort of stuff. And you definitely without any spoilers, you see some justice at the end. But yeah, I'd also say it's not a glitzy, glamorous show. Yeah, there's not like a big kick line at the end with the finale.
Do they actually? I wondered if with this show, if they warn, if people have an awareness before,
like trigger.
There's a trigger warning of suicide.
Right. Okay. I mean, you've seen it. Do they? Is it in the program or something?
Yeah. So so it is in the program, but I think it is kind of on all of the the marketing and everything that it is sort of mentioned that. Yeah. But just in case anyone doesn't read it, yes, there are trigger warnings, suicide and things like that, and mental health.
As there should be. I mean, it's big themes of mental health and self-harm, suicide, and dealing with grief and things like that. So heavy themes that should probably only be handled if you feel safe to do so.
Yeah, and I want to know your characters. Well, I mean, I know your characters, but so we've got the family friend of Jared, played by Tom. We've got Connor, who kind of, his decisions trigger this whole thing off, and then we've got Connor's dad, Larry. So can you kind of introduce us and give us a little bit of background on your characters?
Yeah, you have to do it in character as well.
Absolutely, yeah. And marks out of 10.
Do you want to start us off?
Yeah, sure. I play Jared Keinman, who is, as you say, a family friend of Evan, who, as you have said, is a friendless person. And he is sort of like, that annoying mate who's the only one that you have left, and sort of just takes the mick out of you, but you just put up with him. You put up with him anyway because he's the only person there. He has a lot of bad influences on Evan's decisions. I think very not on purpose necessarily, but I think because he's just also a young 17-year-old who's just finds these situations funny. And
uncomfortable as well.
And yeah.
You wouldn't know how to deal with these things.
Yeah, of course not. Of course not. When you're at that age, you don't. You don't. But yeah, he plays a more comedic role within the story. Yeah.
He's the light relief, isn't he? When things get slightly heavy and dark, we get Jared that just comes straight in with. Yeah.
It's a really tough situation, and then it's another bit where he's saying, "Well, that was stupid, wasn't it?" Which is good, which is good fun. And then another person who is one of Evan's friends.
Yes, I'm Killian. I play Connor Murphy. Connor is a young-ish teenager. He's 17, who struggles with mental health and addiction, and who has a fairly good home life despite all of that. And he, as you said, his decision, this isn't quite a spoiler because that's how the show begins, but the whole show is about the effect of Connor killing himself at the very beginning of the show, and the repercussions that all of that has on his family, people at his school, things like that. And he's an interesting character because you actually see more of him once he's passed away than before. Most of what you see of him is this sort of image that Evan has of him. So I don't know that it would be a very accurate depiction of what he is as a character. But I find it very interesting because we had to find this sort of like middle ground for the character that was both a version that was true to who Connor was when he was alive, but also true to the version that Evan sort of made up in his head, this sort of like best friend that he built up in his mind. Yeah. And
then we've got the dad.
Yes,
and my dad.
Yes, Rich. My name is Rich, and I play Larry Murphy, who is a corporate lawyer, busy work life, very busy, professional, and probably neglected the family life. Not deliberately, just from being just very busy, and has been very successful in providing a very fortunate lifestyle for his family. But definitely as the show moves along, you learn that probably things at home aren't they're not as happy as he thinks, and maybe there are other, you know, it isn't just about the lovely home and the nice car and the nice holidays. There are definitely things that he's neglected. Yeah.
So the show, thank you for that, by the way, everyone. So the show has this idea of Evan writing letters to himself as part of his therapy. So if your characters had to write a short note to themselves, what do you think they'd say?
Oh gosh.
I love putting people on the spot.
I mean, I'll go first. I think it would be something along the lines of, "Dear Connor Murphy, take it one day at a time. Just get through today. Just get through today, and then tomorrow we just have to get through tomorrow." This sort of step by step mindset.
Yeah. I would say, "Dear Larry Murphy, don't forget to check in with your family."
Good one.
Mine would be, "Dear Jared Keinman, sometimes you don't know what is best. Sometimes your choices and your opinions on things aren't the things that are right in every situation. You may think they are, but other people's perspectives can also be correct over yours. So listen to those and take those on for the future."
They're really good advice for everyone, really. All three answers there, just for everyone in general. So before I let you go, I just wanted to ask a question. Something that I've heard about a chicken and a hot dog and a...
Oh my
Go get them.
God.
Go get the chicken and the hot dog.
Oh, that's hilarious.
How have you heard
How have you heard about this?
I do my research.
Wow, you really
This is
have.
terrific.
Hang on, I'm going to see if I can angle this a touch better.
Yeah.
There's the hot dog and there's the chicken. As you can see, they have suction cups at the bottom, so they stick to surfaces pretty easily. And we have a pre-show ritual involving those two items, which it was not your idea, but your purchase. So if you'd like to explain.
Yes,
But it upsets the dog.
we also have Phoebe the dog. Yeah, she gets very excited. You could always angle this towards the wall.
Oh God.
Okay.
Are you doing it?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
do it.
All
Doing
right.
a demo. Okay.
Live demonstration.
You pretty much have to throw it to be able to stick on a door or something with a stick. So you try this one.
Yep. Go on.
Oh!
There we go.
And that means that you'll have a really good show, and it's all for good luck.
I love it.
This is our pre-show ritual, and we try. We don't do it every show, but we try to do it. The three of us have to stick one of each to the wall before we go down.
And the last person, if they stick two in a row, then it resets, and then we have to start again. And sometimes we get quite
Very,
late.
very
for
late.
it.
There's quite a set of rules to this, isn't there?
Oh yes.
Yeah, there's more, but we're not going to get into the nitty-gritty. This is more for competitive kind of stuff. Yeah.
Well, so there you go. If you go and watch Dear Evan Hansen and you think it is a brilliant show, it's nothing to do with all the training that the people have put in. It's to do with the hot dog and the chicken. Thank you so much to all three of you for your time today. It has been an absolute blast. You can catch them if you've been lucky enough to get a ticket at the Palace Theatre till Saturday the 22nd. But if not, it is on tour. It's going to local places like Chester, Blackpool. I've got tickets, so I will be back in Blackpool. So go along and watch it. Thank you so much, and congratulations on an absolutely fabulous show.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Dear Evan Hansen, today is going to be an amazing day, and here's why. On the outside, always looking in, will I ever be more than I've always been? 'Cause I'm tapping on the glass, waving through a window. I try to speak, but nobody can hear, so I wait around for an answer to appear while I'm watching people pass. Waving through a window. You will be found you'll be found.